Arena as the Hornets get another shot at the Raptors game 2, the final game of this road trip. Hornets looking to come back to the Queen City with a win. They just saw this team back on Thursday. It was a down-to-the-wire game. How will they respond tonight? And good news, guys, because that guy is back. Gordon Hayward in the lineup once more. Hornets in Tampa, but we are in Uptown at the Spectrum Center, bring you all the coverage. Welcome into Hornets Live, presented by the Fresh Market. Ashley Shamedy here with Del Curry. And Del, we're seeing this a lot now with the schedule. The teams just staying in their respective cities, playing teams a couple times, and good for the Hornets because they got to make adjustments, and now they'll see Toronto tonight and hopefully get a win against them. Yeah,
hopefully they can get a win. Hopefully they got some rest staying in that hotel, not being able to leave. Like you said, get Gordon Hayward back. I think that will be big for tonight's game. But you've seen Toronto and how they play, a little different than most teams in the NBA, so you can make some adjustments, get off to a better start in that first quarter, and give yourself a chance to win once again in the fourth.
It was an exciting game in the fourth in that game on Thursday. If you didn't see it or if you need a refresher, this is what happened.
Well, the Hornets made a tremendous comeback. Look at the LaMelo ball, deep three right there, and then he passes to his buddy Miles in the corner. He knocks down a triple. Look at LaMelo, reestablishes himself up to Rozier, 2 of his 22 with a high layup right there. A little hectic play right here, but the ball winds up in the hot guy LaMelo. Two-hand chin up with a little hang time on it right there. And then again, look at the block by PJ, one of his 2 blocks off the Toronto Raptors. Hornets get the ball back. A chance to tie it, but PJ can't get it to go down. Miles chases it down. It's Devontae, but off of the backboard there. But you have to like the effort that the guys made to come back in that game. Look at the fourth quarter. How do you get back in the game? You hold your opponent to 12 points in that fourth quarter, and you don't turn the ball over. The Hornets had 18 points, 18 turnovers up to that point. They turned it over twice in the fourth quarter, but Toronto did not score off those 2 turnovers. And you hold the Raptors to 12 points, and only 1 made 3. They made 20 in the game. The Raptors only 1 in the fourth quarter. So that gave the Hornets a chance to get back in the game by doing it on the defensive end, not turning the basketball over, and then just finding the hot guys down the stretch. So LaMelo Ball played wonderful basketball down the stretch, as did some other guys. So, again, you can't fault the effort. Second night of a back-to-back, I thought they played with great effort and energy and gave themselves a chance to win that game.
That recap tonight's Toyota Inside Look. You mentioned a lot of the guys that played really well, and despite the loss, it was just such a great effort overall. Terry Rozier, team leading, 22 points, and PJ Washington as well. Just great things from both of those guys.
Well, with Gordon out, those guys needed to step up, and step up is what they did. We've seen it from Rozier all season long. Look at this high shot right here with the left hand in the middle. Look at Malik Monk got in the game. Nice pass to Rozier there for 2. The hitch right there froze Van Fleet, splashes that one through, plays through the contact, up and under off the glass. Quick first step to his left. That's Boucher, the shot blocker, able to get him off balance and shoot over him. So Rozier did his part. Look at PJ again, playing and protecting the rim with the block. I love this in the fast break game, scoring the Euro step right around and scoring. That's a big guy able to Euro step and shoot the layup. Understanding when he had a smaller player to get to his right hand and score it. Again, in the right spot right there off the offensive rebound that Devontae kept alive. So PJ was active all night long. As we look at the stats from the 2 guys, 16 shots for Rozier, the 22 points, 5 assists, couple of steals. But I love PJ, 20 points. So in the 14 field goal attempts, a double-double with 11 rebounds and protecting the rim with those blocks as well.
Guys just able to step up when one of them is out. That was Gordon Hayward. Did not play on Thursday, and you love to see him, like you mentioned. Malik Monk got in the game as well. But we are so happy to say that this guy is going to be back tonight. What does this mean for the Hornets?
Well, I think it's going to mean a more shot-making, play-making on the defensive end. When you need a bucket, he's going to be able to do that with those 22 points. A game leads the team, but just the calmness of knowing he's back on the floor. And we've seen Gordon do so many things, whether it's scoring, assisting, rebounding, defending his position. You have a guy, your team leader, your scoring leader, back on the floor. And when you're playing against a potent team like Toronto from the 3-point line, Gordon will definitely help you kind of mend the tide and slow them down in that area.
Do you think Coach will restrict his minutes at all? Keep, some of the guys like Malik and the Martin twins in the game as much as they did on Thursday?
Well, Malik played well, and so did the Martin twins as well. But when you have Gordon out there, I think it's a feel thing. The coach will probably ask him, how's he feeling? Is there any discomfort? If there is, he'll pull him out, obviously. But as long as he feels good and stays healthy, he's so important to this team. You're going to give him the minutes that he's gotten all.
Sure, but they're gearing up for tonight. Hornets and Raptors on a Saturday night. We are here at the Spectrum Center bringing you all the coverage for tonight's game. And Dell, the Raptors, they've struggled a little bit thus far this season. They only have 3 wins, and one of those was Thursday night's win against the Hornets. But that night, they sure did find their sweet spot. They found their rhythm, and that was from the perimeter.
Yeah, it's been a tough start for those guys. 7 games on the road, playing in Tampa. But this is one thing that they've done consistently is shoot the 3 ball. Look how open they are in this game. Thursday night versus the Hornets, Van Fleet had 5, Lowry 4, Anunoby 2. They had 6 guys make multiple threes, and 9 of 10 Raptors that played made at least 1 3. So they spread the ball around. All guys have the green light to shoot the 3. 50 threes they took in that game, and they only took 88 shots total. So you can prepare for that again tonight. That's the MO. They live and die by the 3-point line. They're going to drive the ball and get you to bite and kick out to those threes. So I'd rather see them shoot 2s than 3s. If you could stay at home on your man and make that driver take a 2-point shot, I think that's the way you can help defend that 3 ball, because they're going to continue to drive, get you to bite, find the open guy. And everybody on the floor for the Raptors has the ability to shoot and make 3s.
They're either going to shoot that 3 or they're going to give it to Chris Boucher. He had himself quite a night. 25 points for him, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks, all off the bench.
That 25 points tied his career high, number 25 right there. Look at this shot right here. A escape dribble to the left. He played so well that he started the second half and played most of it, 29 minutes, only averages about 22 on the year. Such an improved player in all facets, protecting the rim, rebounding the ball, and shooting the 3 ball. He's not a big body, but he has a big heart. I think he understands that they have confidence in him. He's grown in their program. They know what kind of player he is, and he is taking advantage of all the minutes that he's getting on that Raptor squad.
That's exactly what Fred VanVleet said after the game. He said he's not your typical looking center. He's probably not a guy you'd first pick up out of a lineup for someone in that center possession, but he has the heart, he has the fire, and he says he would want him to win a game.
Yeah, absolutely. And that type of confidence coming from Fred VanVleet, if Boucher hears that, it's going to elevate his confidence and his game.
And then the heart and soul of this team, Kyle Lowry, 14 seasons he's been in this league. And, I mean, he's the veteran. He's the veteran.
Yeah, he's the guy that they're going to lean on when things go a little north or south, when they need something to happen. 16 points, 12 assists, season high with those assists and the rebounds as well. He's the guy that's going to fight this team and will this team to get out of their slow start. A Philly guy, tough competitor, 34 years old. He's been around the league. He knows how to win. So, when things go a little north or south, they're going to lean on Lowry to make a play. And then a lot of plays are going to be through this guy as well, Pascal Siakam, second team All-NBA last season. Kind of slow game for him on Thursday night. 15 points, 7 boards, some assists and steals, but he has the ability to score 30 or more a night. You know that he's going to continue to shoot the ball. He probably does not like the numbers that you see right there, 15 points. So look for him to come out and be more aggressive early on tonight to get himself going to see if he can score 25 points.
But even though he filled that stat line, though, the 3 steals, the 7 rebounds, so he's still probably not satisfied with that because of the points.
Not satisfied. I think he thinks he's a 20-point scorer on a nightly basis, and 15 points, especially in the fourth quarter. He didn't score many in the fourth quarter. It's probably, he's thinking that's the reason why the Hornets had a shot to win or tie that game and going maybe to win it.
Hornets going to adjust tonight to this Raptors team, going to try and get this win here on a Saturday night. It's going to be tough, but they know what. Welcome back to Hornets Live. That Dell bobblehead, life-size bobblehead, looking just like the real thing right there. I mean, look at that.
Laptop and everything, right?
We love to see it. All right, Del, we've got a fun segment coming up here. We're only 13 games into the season, and we basically have enough highlight dunks that would fill an entire season for some teams.
Yeah, we talked about it. The Hornets right there at the top of the league in dunks. So, yeah, the highlight reel's running.
They've put on quite a show. So we're going to have the expert here rate the dunks. He's going to hold up a couple cue cards here with some numbers, some different images to react to some of these dunks. So are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Let's
All
go.
right. The first one we got against Atlanta. It's the Hawks versus Atlanta, and it was Caleb Martin. Look at that one-handed slam, jam, whatever you want to call it, right over his defender.
I like the crossover to get to that move and then go right down the lane. I'm going to give him, if I'm scoring on that, I got to give him a 9.
A 9,
okay.
9,
yeah. The crossover and the elevation with the one-hand hammer, that was pretty impressive. I'm going to give him a 9. If someone had fallen on the floor and he'd actually really dunked on somebody, he'd probably been
that way.
Right now, a 9 for Caleb to get this started.
All right, Caleb Martin with a 9. That's a pretty good score to start things off, but we still got more for you. Okay, dunk number 2. Hornets versus New Orleans. Got Terry Rozier to Devontae Graham. Misses the 3, but Miles with a putback slam.
Yeah, perfect timing right there for Miles to dunk all over Steven Adams. And it surprised a lot of people. More importantly, Steven Adams. So Steven Adams gets the big eyes, like, where did he come from? What happened? And I just got posterized by a putback by Miles Bridges. Nothing to be complained about right there, Steven Adams. That happens a lot when you're talking about Miles Bridges and his dunks.
A lot of extra points to do it over Steven Adams. That is quite the feat. All right, we have more. We have more for you. So get ready for this next one. This is the Hornets versus New York. Here we go.
Yeah, right down the middle, over the Nerlens Noel wall, as Eric Collins calls it. Nerlens was very surprised that Gordon was going to come down and dunk on him. So I'm going to give him the old... What happened, the big wide mouth there, because I don't think Nerlens expected that Gordon Hayward was going to go down and throw it that hard. He knew he was going to get resistance at the rim, but I don't think he estimated how high and how powerful Gordon can jump right there. So that definitely surprised
I think it surprised Gordon Hayward a little bit himself. You saw him doing a little bit of that emoji as well. So that's great stuff. Okay, we got more for you. Another one from the guy right here. Miles Bridges. This was on Thursday versus the Raptors. LaMelo with the assist. Scratching his back, halfway down his back with that one. I mean, oh my gosh.
Hands on the ball, threw it behind his back and threw it down because he had both hands.
Off the charts.
11.
Off the
both
charts.
hands behind him, scratched his back, threw it down, hung in the air to do that. So Miles gets an 11 on that one. That was one of my favorites all times. Right,
he literally paused in mid. I mean, how is it even humanly possible to do what he does? And this is just 13 games in the season. All right, here we go. We got to do this one because we knew this one was going to come. It's the Nets versus the Hornets. LaMelo again with the assist and listen to Eric Collins. How do you do?
Highlight of the season. Kevin Durant right there. And this is going to be a double card. One, because he threw the hammer down.
All right.
And then he just blew everybody's mind, including mine and everybody at home, on that dunk, including Durant. So you know that a guy's going to come and try to block your shot, but you still have the ability to go up. Terry's 6'3" to one-hand hammer on the 6'10", 6'11" Kevin Durant. That's the highlight of the year. So the hammer with just blowing your mind right there.
You think KD still has nightmares about that one?
He will. Yes, he will,
gotta.
because that's going to be shown for the rest of the NBA season.
Years down the road,
Absolutely.
Terry's going to have that highlight come pop up on your feed. So love to see it. Well, Del, thank you for participating.
My pleasure.
The expert right here, Del Curry on dunks. We're going to have much more of them this season, so I'll probably do another one of these. So stick around and tell us which one is your favorite. You can go to our Twitter, Fox Sports Hornets. Tell us what you think about the dunks thus far this season. All right, coming up, we go one-on-one. That guy gonna play tonight, where Eric Collins gets the scoop. Tonight's interview is presented by the Fresh Market.
Coach, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. Hey, you had to coach a couple of days ago for the first time this year without Gordon Hayward. We hear he's coming back. What did you miss not having him in the mix a couple of days ago?
I think his playmaking ability, the size, the rebounding he's given us, but just overall, the playmaking, the shot making. We've closed games with him. A lot of those games we've won late. He's closed those games, making big shots and making big plays.
want to ask you about P.J. Washington. Obviously, he had such a great rookie year last year. You're a big believer in development. What has he done so far in the first 3 weeks of the season to get to the performance that we've seen over the last couple of games? He's put up really big numbers.
Yeah, he's finding his rhythm. I think it took him a minute to get back into form, and he's done a great job attacking the rim. We need him to finish at a higher level at the rim, but I like his attacks right now. He's much more aggressive right now to the rim. Obviously, shooting the ball. That's going to continue to get better as he goes, but shooting the ball, driving it, and playmaking for us. We had a couple turnovers last game that we'll clean up, but overall, good playmaker. And he's challenging at the rim. On the other side, we need him, especially playing small, we need him to protect the rim, protect the paint for us. And that's an element of his game that I've seen growth in.
Coach, I'm going to frame this as a positive. The second half, you guys must be doing something great at halftime, because lately your second half defenses have been a heck of a lot better than what we've seen in the first half. The points in the first half to the points in the second half have been radically different over the last 3 games. What has been the difference between the first and the second halves?
Well, I think because they're in front of our bench, I get to yell at them more. Maybe that's it. I can just try to keep them in front of me, and I can just keep yelling at them. No, I don't know. Look, we come out in the second half. I like our focus second half. We got to get off to better starts. And, I think part of it is we find, we figure teams out as we go. We do, over the course of the game, get better, and I think that's a credit to our players. It's a credit to our staff. Just learning and figuring out the right combination of players on the floor, the right combination of our defense. And we're mixing up defenses. As you're seeing, we have 3 pitches to go to. We throw a fastball, we got a changeup, and we got a few curveballs that we throw out there. And I think for us, finding that right combination for us as we go through a game is big for us.
A baseball guy, thank you for the reference. Appreciate it. Last question. For the people at home who like to look at a specific category, is there one particular thing that you feel like your team needs to do tonight, some box that you need to check if you're going to get a win?
It's got to be the turnover game. Because when our half-court defense is set, we're solid. We're first in the NBA right now in points per possession, half-court defense. That's solid. But our offense has to help us. We can't turn it over 20 times and give them 30 points off turnovers. That just can't happen. Part of that was their defense, but half of those are just poor decision-makings, poor passes. And for us to win this game, we got to clean that up tonight. I believe we'll do a better job on the board tonight and shooting the ball. So, but it really starts with taking care of the ball, running good offense tonight.
Coach, thank you for your time. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Del, Eric mentioned this. Just ask Coach about it. Points by half the last 3 games. They are first in the NBA in points allowed in the second half. How impressive is that?
That's very impressive. Leads the NBA with 50 points allowed in the second half, and it's twofold. James Borrego is being very humble in his answer there to Eric. One, the coaches have to be paying attention as that first half is going on, saying, okay, what can we do better? Who has the hot hand on the opponent's team? How can we defend them? What changes can we make? So you go into halftime, you have a lot of time to explain the changes that you're going to make. So the coaches do a good job of figuring out what needs to change in that first half, going in and relaying that information to the players. And then the players are quickly adapting and going out and executing the plan. The coaches can tell you what to do, but the players have to buy into it, go out and execute. So it's twofold. Coaches have to have their heads on straight to know what we need to do different, the personnel we can put on the floor, and then the players have to go out and execute. And Hornets have been doing a tremendous job of that, especially in the second half. And you talked about the fourth quarter, the Hornets, the turnovers, only 2 turnovers on the offensive end. Toronto did not score off those 2 turnovers. So anytime you can control your turnovers and not the other team score, you have a chance to get back in the game.
And how much playing from behind? I mean, obviously they have to come out with offense in that third quarter. So is that translating to their defense, and that's why we're seeing them play so well defensively?
Absolutely. If you can defend and get easy buckets off your turnovers, then you don't have to run plays. Your opponent's not setting up on the defensive end and playing tough D against you. You can go right back and defend again. And when you turn your opponent over, it plays with a psyche to your opponent, knowing that they have to play well or you're going to be back in that game.
This guy has been big in the second half, specifically in that fourth quarter. He, continues to shine.
Yeah, again, in the fourth quarter, he may not be have a good first half, good first quarter, second quarter, but at some point, LaMelo Ball is going to make his presence known. 6.9 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal, leads all rookies, and he's not far off the leading in the 11 with 11.8 points a game. So to have a rookie finish in that fourth quarter and still be and have an impact, even though he hadn't played early. That's big.
All right, Del, give us your 4 keys to winning this game.
Well, the Hornets came down to Tampa on the second night of a back-to-back. So let's repeat that effort, the energy, the purpose of play, and the urgency that they.
Hornets basketball is brought to you by Sharon View Federal Credit Union. It's Saturday night, and we're live. The Hornets in Tampa for the first time in team history, finishing off a 2-game series with the Raptors. The Raptors calling Tampa home for the season. Now, while the Hornets are doing their thing in Tampa, trying to split this 2-game series, Del and I are back here in Charlotte. We're in Uptown, bringing you the action from Spectrum Center. Folks, we have got you covered. No worries there. Hello, everyone. So glad you could join us for your Saturday evening with my partner, Del Curry. I am Eric Collins, and this unique season rolls on. And one of the unique things about the season, Del, is this back-to-back games in the same venue with the same team.
Yeah, I think the Hornets should play well, play better tonight, especially to start. You mentioned the first time in Tampa, first time in that building. So the Hornets will be familiar with the goal, with the rims. Everything should be a little better, a little calming effort to start that game. Hopefully they can get off to a better start than they did the other night.
Well, let's talk about that game a couple of nights ago. 48 hours ago in Tampa. The Hornets, they fell down big, Del, early and had to fight back.
Fought back, and this guy was leading the charge there. LaMelo Ball, nice defensive play up to Terry Rozier, 2 of his 22. Ball bounces around right to the guy. Again, a 2-hand chin up. Hang on it. Let Boucher know you're there. I love PJ, the way he's been protecting the rim. Rolls right off the arm of Boucher. That gives you a chance to tie the game. PJ has a good look, just bounces off the rim. Devontae can't throw it in, but you love the fight, the effort, the urgency that this team played with in the fourth quarter. And we're talking about the fourth quarter. 12 points they limited the Raptors to. You scored 22, but the Raptors only hit 1 of their 23s in that fourth quarter. That's how you get back in the ball game.
That's our startup, brought to you by Honda Dealers of the Carolinas. For those of you with the discerning eye, bottom part of your screen, you see right there, Gordon Hayward didn't play, had that left hip strain. That was the first game he missed all year, but that's the bit of bad news we have. The good news we have is he's back, Del. He's going to play tonight.
Your leading scorer is back. That's in itself means you should play better. Hopefully that hip does not bother him, and there's no limit restrictions. He'll start tonight, 22 points, 3 assists, the rebounds, the steals, the playmaking is there. And when you have struggles offensively, you can give the ball to Gordon, space out. He'll make a play for himself or his teammates. So it's a good sign to have Gordon back in the lineup.
Let's play some ball. Hornets finishing off a twin bill in Tampa. When we come back, we will have a ball. We'll talk LaMelo